They chose each other. Not impulsively. Not blindly. They chose each other with intention. From the beginning, their connection felt steady. There was comfort in the way they talked, trust in the way they listened, and peace in the way they existed together. Being with each other didn't feel like effort. It felt like alignment. They planned a future that made sense. Not a fantasy, but a life built on understanding. They believed that love, combined with commitment, could handle anything. But life rarely asks for permission. Opportunities appeared. Responsibilities shifted. Dreams demanded attention. And slowly, life began pulling them in different directions. At first, they didn't worry. They told themselves it was temporary. That love was strong enough to handle distance. And for a while, it was. They adjusted. They scheduled calls, counted down visits, learned how to miss each other quietly. They believed that effort was proof of love. But distance changes things. Conversations shortened. Silences grew longer. The comfort they once shared became harder to reach. They still loved each other. That never disappeared. But loving each other started to feel harder than it used to. The pressure built slowly. Careers demanded focus. Life required choices. And they realized something painful. Choosing love meant giving up parts of themselves they weren't ready to lose. They tried to compromise. Tried to meet in the middle. But the middle kept moving. The hardest conversations came late at night, when honesty felt heavier than fear. They talked about exhaustion, about doubt, about how much they still cared, and how tired they were of feeling torn. No one was wrong. No one failed. Life simply asked for more than they could give together. Letting go wasn't sudden. It was slow. A mutual understanding that love alone couldn't fix everything. When they finally made the decision, there was sadness, but also relief. Relief from fighting reality. The goodbye wasn't dramatic. No shouting. No anger. Just two people acknowledging that loving each other didn't guarantee a shared future. Afterward, the world felt quieter. Not empty. Just different. They learned how to exist without each other. How to move forward without pretending it didn't hurt. Time did what it always does. It softened the pain. Turned heartbreak into reflection. They realized something important. Choosing each other once didn't make the ending a failure. It made the love real. Some love stories don't end in forever. They end in growth, in understanding, in respect. They chose each other. And when life pulled them apart, they chose themselves too. In the months that followed, they both learned how strange healing can be. Some days felt normal, almost peaceful. Other days, the memories returned without warning. A familiar song. A shared joke. A moment that reminded them of what once felt so certain. They didn't miss the arguments. They didn't miss the distance. They missed the knowing. The comfort of having someone who understood them without explanation. Slowly, they began to understand something deeper. Love doesn't disappear just because people part ways. It changes shape. It becomes gratitude, respect, a quiet appreciation for what once existed. They stopped asking why it didn't work. Instead, they asked, what did it teach us? It taught them patience. It taught them honesty. It taught them that love isn't just about choosing someone, it's about choosing yourself, too. Later in life, when new love appeared, they were different. Wiser. More intentional. They spoke up sooner. They set clearer boundaries. They didn't ignore the signs they once overlooked. That love, the one that didn't last, became the reason they loved better later. They no longer saw the ending as a loss. They saw it as a chapter that helped shape who they became. Some people come into your life to stay. Others come to prepare you. Both matter. They chose each other when it made sense. And when life pulled them apart, they chose growth instead of resentment. And that choice, as painful as it was, gave them peace. Because not every love story is meant to last forever. Some are meant to leave you stronger than they found you.
Along the way, things shifted. The glances lasted longer. The goodbyes felt heavier. But neither of them spoke up. Because silence felt safer than risking everything. Part 3, the moments that almost happened that were understood without speaking. Those moments never left. They just became quieter. Part 9, what silence really meant. Silence wasn't emptiness. It was fear. Fear of losing what they already had. Fear of rejection. Fear of ruining something that felt safe. So they chose silence, not knowing it would cost them everything. Part 10, when they realized too much one day, the truth became impossible to ignore. They didn't miss the friendship. They missed the possibility. The version of life that could have existed if one of them had been brave enough to speak. Part 11, moving forward, not moving on. They moved forward. But moving on was harder. Because some love stories don't end with closure. They end with understanding. An understanding that timing matters. And courage matters even more. Part 12, the lesson they carried from then on, they promised themselves one thing. Never again would fear speak louder than love. Never again would silence decide their future. Because love that isn't spoken slowly fades into regret. Final ending, very strong, close. They loved each other in silence. And that silence taught them one of life's hardest lessons. Love doesn't wait forever. Sometimes, it needs a voice. Part 13, years later. Years went by. Life softened the sharp edges of the past. Careers changed. Dreams evolved. They became people their younger selves would barely recognize. On the radio. A random place that felt too familiar. A memory that surfaced without warning. And for a second, they wondered. Not with regret but with quiet curiosity. Part 15, the peace they found. They no longer wished things had been different.